poised rubble. After a prayerful wait, he began cautiously digging himself free. Presently his fingers brushed against a substance the peculiar waxen feel of which brought his neck hairs erect. He paused, glancing again toward the great wound on the mountainside. There had been someone on the stage road last night, and from the faint warmth of the skin beneath his fingertips that someone was yet alive. With redoubled caution, Chilkoot returned to his exhuming of himself and the still-bodied stranger from their near sharing of an avalanche tomb on Madison River, 17 miles south and east of Montana's fabled Alder Gulch and the sinister vigilante city called Virginia. It was 48 hours before the man from the landslide regained consciousness. When he did, Chilkoot, bending over him, peered into 2 gray eyes as vacant as the windows of an abandoned house. "Rest easy, son," he told them. "It will all come back to you." But it did not come back to the man, not even when, a week later, Chilkoot watchfully told him his name. "Ben Allison," he said. "San Saba, Texas. Least that's what's burnt here inside your gun belt." He unrolled the gunfighter's Buscadero rig, which held the old model cap and ball Colt, showing the stranger the legend branded upon its inner leather. But the latter only shook his head and answered quietly, "Sorry, old-timer. It don't mean a blessed thing to me." "Well, do you think it's your outfit?" persisted Chilkoot. His companion took from its holster the walnut-handled .44, closing his big fingers about its worn grip. Unthinkingly, with reflex familiarity, he shifted the weapon from hand to hand. Directly he slid it back into its leather with a flick of the wrist, which left the old man's narrowed gaze a blink behind. Again he said quietly, "I don't rightly know, old-timer, but she feels mine." "Yes, I reckon she does," nodded Chilkoot, uneasy now. Then, after an awkward pause, "Well, that takes care of that part of it." The stranger glanced up. "There was more?" "Considerable. Say like the $10,000 in new paper bills and that money belt I found around your middle." "Partner," the other smiled, treating Chilkoot to his first look at his quizzical, bright grin, "you are full of Jimson juice. I never had more than $5 hard money in my whole life, excepting maybe it was Confederate." "Yes," said the old man, "that's another thing. You was a Reb, wasn't you?" "I tell you, I don't know. I don't seem to know anything about who I was or what." "Oh, I can tell you something you know. That's how to handle a gun." "That's something. In these parts it can be everything." "I'll take your word for it, old-timer. Anything else?" "Yes, I can tell you a Reb. You got a boondock Texas drawl would give you dead away anywheres north of Red River. You're doing pretty good, old-timer. Keep telling." The other had lost his quirky grin. The old man bridled at the change in temperature, bobbing his beard feistily. "All right, I'll tell you this. If you can't remember nothing about yourself, how come you can say for certain that that money ain't yours, or that you didn't come by it dishonest?" "I just know. Where on earth would a fellow like me get his hands on $10,000, honest or dishonest?" Chilkoot increased the angle of his whiskers. "I can tell you one place. A mule train owner from Orofino, over in Idaho, was murdered in his blankets not far from here and not long ago. They found him cut back jaw to back jaw,